continue our privacy talks here with Levis from Horizen. Give it up for
All right, so I put some notes together just to make sure I stayed within the 10-minute mark. I didn't want to, ramble on. So I've got a few items that I wanted to just cover with everybody here as far as like what the Horizen project is, our, kind of the overview of the project, our inspiration for why we exist. I want to talk a little bit about our secure nodes and super nodes and how those work, some significant accomplishments that we've done throughout the life of the project, and sort of what are our plans for the rest of 2019 and beyond. So, and please feel free to stop me at any point. If you have questions, feel free to stop me and I'll answer as best as I can. So Horizen started back in 2017, May of 2017, as Zencash. I'm not sure if you guys had heard of Zencash before. It was a fork off of zClassic, and zClassic was a fork of Zcash. So
going on back.
Yeah, so we can trace our roots back to Bitcoin.
Back to Bitcoin. That's all of them.
Yeah. We're the redheaded stepchild of Bitcoin. But no, so we started off, and the whole idea back when the founders, Rob Viglione and Rolf Versailles, started Zencash, was we wanted to create something, a project that focused on privacy. The main features of the coin are basically take in all of these, what all these other coins are doing really well. Like Dash, for example, has their DAO. Zcash has the ZK snarks. Ethereum has, their whole, internet or internet language on a blockchain. And obviously Bitcoin. So taking in all of these different aspects of what these other projects are doing and sort of create that within one cryptocurrency project. And that's kind of how Horizen was born. We also talked about at the beginning was having nodes that would secure the transactions between the different transactions that were happening across the blockchain. So back then, the initial idea was to have these things called secure nodes. And obviously for people to be incentivized to create nodes, we had to create an incentivization system. And so originally we started off with splitting the block rewards with, I believe it was like 90% went to the miner, or excuse me, 80% went to the miners, 10% went to business development and to the treasury, and then another 10%-ish went to the secure nodes. And immediately when the secure nodes were established, they were very successful. A ton of people signed up. They wanted to be part of the project, support the project. So it became very popular. And so throughout the life of the project, then eventually what we decided was, hey, let's create these other things called super nodes. And so with the super nodes, they actually have higher requirements than what is required for secure nodes. So to kind of go into a little bit of what the difference is between secure nodes and super nodes. Secure nodes only require 42 Zen to run a secure node, whereas super nodes require 500 Zen. And so you can do the math converting, how much a Zen is per dollar, and you can do the math and figure out how much it would cost to actually run a secure node versus a super node. So kind of what is the purpose of these nodes that we have in our ecosystem? Basically is, as I mentioned, you have the nodes are securing the transactions, making sure that transactions are kept, because each of these nodes are they're what do you call it? I forgot the name.
Nodes cheat sheet.
Yeah, then I got the nodes cheat sheet. So they're encrypted, right? So each node has TLS encryption, so that basically what happens is when you're transacting with other nodes, or doing transactions across the network, all those transactions are encrypted. So it keeps bad actors or governments from figuring out what are you doing with with the blockchain. It keeps it private, it keeps it resilient, and so no one can really shut it down. No government or bad actor can shut it down.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of encryption, which TLS they're using?
I don't, not off the top of my head. I mean, it's the latest, whatever the latest encryption, TLS encryption mechanism is. So, okay, so I wanted to talk about a little bit about the inspiration. What was the sort of the mission? Why do we exist? So one of the things that they looked at was, there was centralization all over the place. Systems like Facebook, Twitter, etc., where you're transacting or you're sending messages across, but they're kept by this centralized entity. So we wanted to create something that kind of did away with that. The right to privacy and information breaches. We've all heard about companies like Target, Visa, MasterCard, Experian, all these companies that are basically, they're getting hacked, and all your information and data is getting stolen and used on the dark web. The right to democracy, freedom of expression. We see countries like Venezuela where people, their freedoms are being stifled. The freedom of thought, the freedom to express, freedom of the press, things like that. All of these countries around the world where they want to, people want to have the freedom to express themselves or publish things online, and they can't because of their governments. So a lot of these things kind of were encompassing the ideas that helped create Horizen. I talked about the multi-tiered node infrastructure. So as I mentioned, the 42 Zen for the secure nodes, 500 Zen for super nodes. We have the probably the largest node network in the space, about 30,000 nodes, if I'm not mistaken, more than Ethereum, more than Bitcoin. So we're pretty decentralized from that standpoint. And the whole purpose is not just to have people make money off of the nodes. It really is to secure the blockchain and to secure the communications that happen across the blockchain. Okay, so talked about those, secure nodes, super nodes. All right, so some of the things that we've accomplished over the last, since we've initiated the project, 51% attacks were always a big deal. One of the biggest, risks to any cryptocurrency. We solved that problem because I don't know if you guys heard, but Horizen did get a 51% attack early on in its life. And so, do you have a question?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I heard Dash just did something for the 51% attack.
Yeah, so we solved it before they did.
But they got more coverage on that?
I believe they did. Yeah, I saw some stuff on Twitter about that.
Okay.
But yeah, we solved the whole 51% issue early on because we ourselves got attacked. We got a 51% attack. They stole, I want to say somewhere around $300,000 from Binance. And we were able to do it through a 51% attack. And so immediately, the weekend that happened, the whole team got together. Our chief engineer, one of our, yeah, go ahead.
And since it was private, do you know who did it?
No, but see, the thing is, transactions that happen with exchanges are not private transactions. So if you get, kind of give you guys a little bit of background on how 51% attacks happen. You have a malicious miner who decides that they mine some blocks off-chain, offline, and then they insert those blocks into the chain later on after they've gotten control over 51% of the network, and then they're able to reverse transactions that happen on the normal chain.
They turn the chain.
Yeah,
basically.
so they erase history of what happened on the honest chain. So we solved that by adding a penalty mechanism where if a malicious miner goes offline and mines blocks for a certain amount of time, then for however many blocks they mine offline, there's a penalty where they have to continue mining blocks for some amount of time that's related to the amount of time that they were mining offline. And so it makes it prohibitively expensive to do that, to rent out a bunch of hash rate and rent it out for some amount of time and then try to do it again.
Yeah.
So they're unable to do it, or it makes it very, 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 very hard.
It's too many computer powers to try to catch up.
Not just that, but it would just it would take a lot of money to rent out that much power for that much time.
Yeah, electricity.
Yeah. So and the way that it happened was basically, and the way that it has happened before with 51% attacks, malicious miner just goes to, there's a company out there, I forget the name right now, but there's a company out there that you can actually rent out hashing power and where you can mine offline. So what this miner did is used some amount of money, rented hash power, controlled 51% of the network for a little bit of time, and was able to reverse those transactions. Well, now they can't do that anymore. So that was one big accomplishment that we had. We've also released our own Sphere wallet. It's our flagship wallet for Mac and Windows. It has a fold and light client. We're part of the Grayscale Fund. I don't know if you guys have heard of Barry Silbert, but we're one of the major funds that we have a Horizen fund, so people can institutional investors can go out there and buy Horizen through this exchange traded fund. We have an A score in basically it's the Fundamental Crypto Asset Score, FCAS. I don't know if you guys have heard that, but CoinMarketCap has a scoring system where they score each of the projects. We recently were able to get an A, so that was a
Nice.
yeah. So we also have Zen Academy. So if anybody out there in the world wants to go out and learn about blockchains, learn about zero knowledge proofs, zero knowledge cryptography, how blockchains work, they can go to our website for free, and we have this whole program from beginner to expert, and people can go out there and get free education. So we have this thing called Zen Academy. The other thing is we can send Zen via text messaging, via Twitter with this company called Cointigo. So you can actually send somebody a text just through a normal phone number, and then they receive Zen on the other end. So through texting. We're listed on a bunch of exchanges: Binance, Bittrex, Huobi, basically all the top exchanges. Integrated with a bunch of crypto wallets, including Ledger Nano. I actually just received my latest.
So we got the Ledger Nano up for grabs tonight.
Woo!
Yeah, well, there's another one that's even cooler than the Ledger Nano. It's this cool wallet.
Horizen branded.
Horizen branded. So yeah, so it's pretty cool. It uses Bluetooth technology, and you can connect it to your phone, and you can store your Zen, pretty securely in a wallet like this. So
Literally a wallet.
yeah, you put it in your wallet, and I keep my Zen in here.
Wallet.
Inside my wallet. Yeah.
That's a cold storage wallet.
It's
That's crazy.
it's a hard wallet.
It's hard. Yeah, hard.
It's like the Ledger, yeah. All right, so let me move it along here. Let's see what else. Okay, so and then the last thing I wanted to mention real quick is another cool partnership that we just came in contact with was with this company called Aircoins. And so Aircoins, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, but you can actually collect crypto using your phone in augmented reality. So you open up the game. It's sort of like Pokemon Go. You open up the game, and then you look around where you're located, and you actually can see like little coins in space. You click on it, and then it collects to your phone. And then after that, if you want, you can actually send the coins to your own wallet. Right now, that feature to send Zen out of it is not quite ready. But the coins, we actually tried to do an airdrop for this event. So there could be some virtual Zen, hanging around in here.
I can walk around here and find Zen.
You might be able to. Yeah. Yes. So that's pretty much it. You guys have any? Yeah.
On privacy, peer-to-peer cash coins. Do you think they'll be accepted at big box merchants like a Target, a Walmart?
I think. I think eventually they will be. Right now, there are companies out there that we're integrating with that will be sort of the middleman to make it happen, so that when a big company, a big store like Target or these big Starbucks, pharmacies, whatever, they want to get into blockchain or using crypto. There's these companies out there that allow payments to happen through them, and then they're able to settle in dollars on that day, because a lot of these companies don't want to deal with the volatility, right? So they're able to actually, you can transact with them, buy products from them, and then the middle,
They hold it in escrow for a second, and then
they do the conversion, and then they keep it so that that store doesn't lose out because of volatility. So, and it's happening already. We're doing that in Latin America. We have some partnerships coming up here very soon that we're going to be announcing over the next couple months with some point of sale providers. And we also have partnered up with some companies here in the States, like NetSense, I think, is one of them. Coin Payments, if I'm not mistaken, is another company that does it. So there's already a bunch of companies out there that we've integrated with that allow people to pay with crypto, and then for the company, they don't lose out because of volatility.
they don't really get crypto.
They don't get crypto, they get dollars. Yeah.
Or a lot of times you actually get the option of which one you want.
Yeah.
Some companies are like, hey, I want to keep the Bitcoin, or I want to convert it on this schedule.
Right.
You know, or it's automatic conversion. As soon as I get it, I want to convert.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
All right, everybody, that is Levis Horizen.
thank you.